calls, got the suicide dose. Got a new bag, got a new bankroll. Said I want an M, now I want it times 4. Tried to lock me out, so I kicked down the door, yeah. Yeah, on my calls, got the suicide dose. Got a new bag, got a new bankroll. Said I want an M, now I want it times 4. Tried to lock me out, so I kicked down the door. Money everywhere, I'ma get mine for show. Why you hating shit and I'ma get mine and go.
Share the stream.
Trying to zip line the coast. Sitting on the money, I'ma get mine and go. Yeah, on my calls, got the suicide dose. Got a new bag, got a new bankroll. Said I want an M, now I want it times 4.
As you come in, drop a like, drop a comment, tag some people, share the stream.
I'ma get mine to go. I'll be on the island trying to zip line the coast. Sitting on the money, I'ma get mine and goes. People say they want it, but you knowin' that I want mine the most. Yeah, ain't no money, I'ma pass up. Roll it, then I gas up. Tryna get my bread by the loaf. Wanna be the greatest, but it take time to grow. Could be on vacation, I could whip out the ghost. Smoking on the greatest, take a sip out and flow. Said that you the greatest, but ain't this kind of go. Said that you perform, it ain't this kind of show. Did it all before, bet you this time it go. Gotta travel overseas.
What up, everybody? As you come in, you already know the routine. Drop a like, drop a comment, tag some people in the stream, share the stream into some groups. If you over on the YouTube, make sure that you subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit the thumbs up. Let's get into it. Often I get asked, probably a little bit more than everybody else, what's the goal? Like, what is it that you're trying to accomplish with what you be doing? What is it that you want out of what you be talking about? And what I want is a more conducive environment for the children. What I want is for the next generation to be 100 times better than the generation that we have now. What I want is for the youth to get the head start, to get the push, to get that leverage, to be able to start on a 50-yard line like all the other goddamn races. I want our children to be able to have that same fucking thing. And there's no way we're going to be able to accomplish this if we can't have conversations. There's no way we're going to be able to accomplish this if we can't have tough conversations. There's no way we're going to be able to accomplish this if we got to filter ourselves and not be able to say what the fuck it is that we're thinking. Everybody is so sensitive now that they will negate the truth based off how the truth made them feel. They will negate the truth based off of how the truth made them feel. When I hear truth, that shit wake me up. Like when I hear something that appeals to me, and especially the negative things that I be doing, when I hear things that negatively affect my life and I know I'm one of the people fucking doing them, that shit is a wake-up call for me. That is a light bulb that goes off in my head. That is another way to be able to jump over the hurdles that I've been suffering through. That is another way for me to get a couple steps forward. I'm never going to hear the truth about myself and assume that they're lying. I'm never going to hear the truth about myself, see the outcomes of this truth that was explained to me, and just assume that that can't be the truth. Ain't no way. 30, 40 people tell me the exact same thing, and I'm still assuming that it's something else. We can't live like that. We can't live like that. The kind of hate that that brings, the kind of mentality that that brings, the mind state that that puts you in. We are a sick individual of people. Fuck it, we're going to talk about it. I said I wouldn't, but I guess we here, so we're going to talk about it. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. First off, before we even get any further, y'all make sure that y'all drop a like, drop a comment, tag some people in the stream. If you on the YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Fuck it, this will be a Kevin Samuels tribute. Because you know what's odd to me? Because you know what's odd to me? When they push thought culture, no one says anything. No one says anything. Detriment to the children. When they push gang culture, no one says anything. When the girls is loving the niggas that shooting the block up, nobody's saying anything. When we're getting kicked out of restaurants as black people because our women want to twerk on tables, nobody's saying anything. When they're making the twerk videos with the kids eating the cereal in the background, nobody's saying anything. But the man that tells you that you need to be married, the man that tells you to fix the problems with the person you made children with and go back and finish your family, that's the guy who gets the most hate. No one says anything to the Meg Thee Stallions. No one says anything to Cardi B's lying ass that talk about she don't cook, she don't clean, and then Offset puts videos of up of her cooking and cleaning. No one says anything about Beyonce representing for the single ladies and then taking her married ass back home. No one has anything to say about none of this. None of it. Name how any of it could be a positive to the community. Name it. Name how fucking nigga can fuck him and I get some money. Like, name how that has positively affected the community. Now, when Kevin Samuels was telling men that you're not a high value man because you don't make the level of money that you need to, you don't have the circle of people that you need to, you don't dress the way that you need to, you're not appearing in the places that you need to, you're not dedicating yourself to your craft the way that you need to. Us men took that shit to heart. We loved it. Run it up. That's how the channel got built. No one says anything about that, though. They skipped the fact that he spoke worse to men. Skipped it. When he had to go back and tell us what kind of cologne to use, when he had to tell us how to properly wash ourselves, when he had to tell us about the right kind of deodorants, the right kind of soaps, the way that you need to be able to trim yourself up, the type of trimmers that you need. When he was going in, no one said nothing. It's like you can't address the women about a goddamn thing that they doing, or you hate your mama, you gay, all sorts of weird stuff starts happening the second that you have to address what women is doing, but they can say they don't want no broke nigga, and we accepted it. Took it to heart. Black men are now, 50+% of black men are in the middle class. We took that shit to heart and we fixed it. Prison rates have been dropping. They said that most of the good black men are in jail or homosexuals. We fixed it. Prison incarceration rates have dropped dramatically in the last 10 years. We fixed it. They said they didn't like the way we was dressing. We cleaned it up. Cleaned it up. Everything that was asked of black men to do, we did it. And what did we get in return? We got called gay for now having standards. We got accused of hating our mamas for having standards. But name what we did not fix. You guys said you wanted tougher men. We became tougher and you guys got mad. Oh, now because we don't want the neighborhood hoe, it's an issue because you became the neighborhood hoe? I'm going to repeat that. You didn't want us to want the neighborhood hoe. So in return, we didn't want the neighborhood hoe. But now you mad that we don't want the neighborhood hoe because you became the neighborhood hoe. Y'all got mad at us for making children that we couldn't take care of. Y'all got mad at us for spreading baby mother syndrome throughout the hood. So men stopped having children. They stopped wanting marriage. They started wanting to work on themselves. They started focusing more on themselves. And what did they get called? They got called incels and they got called homosexual. You said that you wanted us to clean it up. You didn't want the gangster shit no more. Y'all wanted entrepreneurs. We went and became entrepreneurs. And in return, we came back and there were no wives.
Work hard.
We came back and there were no wives. So men went, fixed all of that shit, came back to no wives. Imagine that shit. Imagine that shit. Imagine that. More angry at the guy pushing marriage than you are at the women that's negating marriage. What about all the women on TikTok that's saying just live your thought life up? Every woman got to have a whole phase, sleep with who you want to, come back and look for a man when you're 40 and washed up. Like, what about all the women that's saying that? What about the ones that call my wife a slave just because she chooses to stay home and take care of the children? What about them? They don't never got nothing to say about that. They say crazy shit about Kevin Samuels. Y'all don't say nothing about the ones that said that y'all sons are not good enough men. What about all the women that said that your son will not be good enough for me? Do y'all factor that in? When they say that they don't want the average guy, when they don't want the guy that has to lay the bricks, when they don't want the guy that has to build the buildings, when they don't want the guy who's working on the elevators, when they don't want the guy that is building the goddamn community, when they say they don't want him, he's not good enough. They're talking about your son. They're talking about your brother. They're talking about your uncle. They're talking about your family too. Y'all act like when they say this shit about men that they're negating your son. They're teaching this to their daughters that are eventually going to run into your son and say that your son is not good enough. And when we address that, we're also homosexuals and don't like our mamas and all the other weird shit that comes along with it. What if we start addressing that y'all just don't like y'all fathers because of what y'all mom said about them? We never bring that up. Some of y'all don't like y'all fathers strictly because of what your mama said about them. What you don't know is your mother was nuts. That's what you don't know. Some of y'all are blaming your fathers for the fact that your moms was nuts. And you know why you don't know it? Because your father is such a man that even after all this time, he still won't badmouth her. After all this time, he still won't speak negatively about her. He'll just say it didn't work. He'll just say irreconcilable differences. He'll just say, didn't work out. We couldn't see eye to eye on things. Ask your mama about your father. He a no good piece of shit deadbeat that left you, didn't want nothing to do with you. Papa was a Rolling Stone. He left me for a girl that was light skinned with pretty hair and all the other weird shit that comes along with it. You don't even see the traits in your mother that's so toxic that you would think to yourself, maybe that's why dad left. Maybe that's why dad left. Maybe dad left because mommy be tripping. What are your problems with your mother? Because most of you women is beefing with your mamas. A good 80 to 90% of y'all are beefing with your mothers. This started this whole thing. Grandma could not give information. Grandma could not spread the information to your mama because your mama couldn't take the way that grandma was talking to her. Original disconnect, loss of knowledge. Library burns down the second that the children no longer have access to the elders. Now you're trying to freestyle and do some shit that raise this child on your own without the knowledge of the grandparents, and you don't have the knowledge. So now what are you passing down to the children? Anything that you know. What do you know? All the shit that your grandparents didn't want you to do. So what do you teach your children? The same shit that your grandparents didn't want you to do. What's the outcome of the children? Same outcome as you. Mama 50 in the club and single. She's about to teach her daughter to be 50 in the club and single. You guys see it online now? Y'all see it online? The moms is in the club with the daughter. And you don't know which one is the mama. You know why? Because there's no grandchildren anymore. Because the women aren't having children anymore. Because they're living their best life. Facts. This stone cold facts. Mama is in the club with her daughter, and you don't know which is which. They watch the same reality shows, meaning they live the same reality because the only way you could watch something is if you relate to it. Our parents in my generation did not watch the same shows as the children of the generation. You know why? Didn't apply, so they let it fly. Didn't make sense to them. They couldn't get it. What's going on with all of these single women and wanting to wear, go outside half naked and all of this? Like the mamas didn't know nothing about that. But now those daughters at that time are now mothers. And they don't fuck with grandma no more. Grandma said she wasn't going to watch them kids one time. And they don't fuck with grandma no more. I'm going to keep it 100. I've seen it 1,000 times. You know why men are better at telling these stories and being factual about it? Because men grew up usually with nothing but women. Grandma, mommy, auntie. We grew up with nothing but women. Women did not grow up around us. They did not grow up around us. They don't know us. As soon as they say they want a nigga who's spiritually in tune and a guy that's in touch with his feelings and doesn't feel, because you've never been around us to know that that is the most detrimental thing you could do is tell a man to be in his feelings. You want to know what happens when a man is in his feelings? Chaos, Chirac, Brooklyn, Memphis, Atlanta, Florida, California, Houston, Baton Rouge. That's what happens when men are in their feelings. It's complete chaos. All the women that I have in here, have you ever seen an overly emotional man out on the street and tell me that that man is not dangerous? A dude that you don't know what he is about to do, but still has the power of a man, but can't control his feelings is one of the most dangerous things in the world. That is one of the most dangerous things in the world. He stepped on my shoes. I feel some type of way about it. That nigga gotta die. That is the only way men know how to settle shit. When men are talking back and forth with one another, it's only so long before one of those men are like, yo, fuck all this talking, my nigga. What you saying? Because we can't process information for that long about nonsense. We want to get straight to the point. Either you want to fight or you don't. Men who are not in their feelings get to think with logic. They get to stop for a second and say, is it worth it? Because this can end in death. Men can fight to the death, literally. Literally. A few of my homies got charged with a death over beating a nigga up. Beat him to death. Head hit the sidewalk, dead. Murder, done. Finito.
That's what can happen when black men are in their emotions. Oh, he said the wrong thing about me on Facebook. He didn't even say the wrong thing. You just read it the wrong way. And because you are in your feelings as a man, you grab the Glock and you go look for this nigga. When you pull up on him, you jump out with the Glock. Any way of talking this out is over now. How did we get this far? By a man being in his feelings. So when women ask for a man that's in his feelings, please don't do that. Please. That is dangerous for the community, for everybody. Men need to learn to be stoic. You need to learn to channel those feelings. You need to learn to put that shit in Pandora's box. You want somebody to vent to, nigga, the dog and the shower water. I don't expect women to understand this. I get it. But for the niggas out there, if you have to vent, call a man. Call a man. Because at some point, he's going to be like, bro, it sounds like at this point, you just bitching. You need to really go and figure that shit out. You just complaining too much. Like, you did nothing to fix it yet. We come with logic. We're never going to respond to you venting to us with, well, I feel like. If you're having a conversation with a man, and the first thing he says is, well, I feel like, in the fucking conversation. In the conversation. Yes. Yes. I really don't think that they get this. Yes. So wait, the only time a man could be in his feelings is if it's negative. Yes. Yes. I know that sounds crazy, but a man in his feelings is negative. Negative. There is nothing good about it. You want to know what a man in his feelings is? That controlling nigga that don't want to let you go outside? That's a man in his feelings. You know that guy that beats girls up over a man inboxing them even if they didn't respond? That's a man in his feelings. It's a negative. No matter which way you look at it, a man in his feelings is a negative. It's a fact. You don't even want a nigga in his feelings. Let a nigga watch a movie and cry about you. Vagina turns into the Sahara Desert. I'm going to repeat that. Let a man be watching a movie with you and he decide to cry over the movie. Vagina becomes the Sahara Desert. Let you see a man outside crying over some absolute nonsense. Vagina turns into the Sahara Desert. A man in his feelings is a very dangerous situation. Nukes have fell on Earth because men in their feelings. People have been conquered and racist and put into slavery because of men in their feelings. We lost our woman to their man because they had bigger penises, and because I feel some kind of way about that, I'm going to act on it and enslave and try to exterminate the entire race. These are things that come along with men being in their feelings. I can't name one positive thing that has ever came from a man being in his feelings. Never. So a man can't be in his feelings and be loving, can't be in his feelings and be happy, only mad. It's a fact. It's a fact. The only time men are happy is when they're working. When men are providing something for the community, when men are providing something that the community can benefit from, when we're helping people, when we're doing shit like that, that's when a man is truly happy. Loving, we don't care about love. We prefer respect. We prefer respect. Ask any man in the chat right now, would you rather have love or respect? They're going to tell you, I'd rather have respect. We don't exactly care about love. As long as you respect me, I'm fine. I'm fine. All that loving stuff that doesn't appeal to us. We don't know how to decipher that kind of language. That's womanese. That loving. I don't fucking know what that is. Maybe I'm just one of those guys. I don't exactly know what that is. I'd much rather the respect. I'm very respectful. I'm very masculine. I'm very cordial. I don't know. Loving probably is an attribute of me though. So men don't get in their feelings and do something positive. That's crazy. No, name one. Name one time you've seen a man get in his feelings and do something positive. If a man jumped to his feelings every time that he felt some type of way about a woman, you would leave him. If dudes liking your picture bothered him, you would leave him. If you posting pictures bothered him, you would leave him. If a man kept on complaining about stuff all of the time, you would leave him. Because you would say that this nigga is too much in his feelings, and Martin Luther King was never in his feelings. Martin Luther King wanted to do work for the people. He wanted his people to have respect. He wanted his people to get the same level of respect that everybody else got. Malcolm X was not loving. Malcolm X was a fucking goon. Malcolm X was a gangster. In a good way. In a good way. Martin Luther King was a gangster in a good way. In a good way. But men and their feelings is never positive. Never a positive. Y'all leave niggas who be in their feelings. Keep it 100. Keep it 100. Y'all say it about me. Oh, you sound like you're controlling and weak and insecure. And all of that has to do with emotions. And y'all don't like niggas who do that. Just keep it 100. Y'all violate niggas who care. That's a fact. That is a fact. Y'all roast them niggas right afterwards. Oh, I broke up with that nigga and that nigga was crying over me. That's what happens when a man gets in his emotions. He gets roasted for that shit. He gets roasted. So just keep it 100 with me. If a man had a problem every time you posted a picture, if a man had a problem every time you got a like on Facebook, if a man got a problem every time a dude looked at you when you was outside because he felt some kind of way about it, what would you call him and would he be your boyfriend? Would he be, is that the kind of man that you want? Because that's how men work in their feelings. It's never in a good way. It's never in a good way. We overthink things and then Hawk smash. Facts. We overthink things and then it's Hawk smash. Would you date a dude who was so in his feelings that you couldn't go outside dressed the way you want to? You couldn't post the kind of pictures you wanted to. You can't say what you want to on Facebook. You can't do none of that because I feel some kind of way every time you do that. Would you make that your boyfriend and or husband? Oh, yes, I'm going to tell a man immediately, if you want to be serious about a woman, nigga, you need to be serious about life. You need to be stoic. They want a superhero. That's what a girl wants. She wants a fucking superhero. She wants you to be Captain America. She wants you to be Superman. She wants you to sweep her off of her feet. Somebody made a very good analogy one day. She wants to be the Rock. She wants you to be the rock that her emotional waves crash into because the rocks don't move. No matter how many waves hit the rocks don't move. That's what a girl wants. She wants a solid individual. You know how you know it? Because you women today are complaining that there's no real men out here. You know why there's no real men out here? Because these men are in their feelings. And just because these men are in their feelings, you guys just switch the words up. You say that men aren't good leaders today. I can't find a man who's comfortable with this. Men are insecure about this. All of those are a man in his feelings. So once again, it proves that you guys do not want a nigga in his feelings. I've told y'all can't listen to women all the time. Women will teach you how to get friend zone for life. And I don't even think they do it on purpose. I don't think they do it on purpose. But women will teach you to be friend zoned for life. They will tell you to be the exact kind of nigga that they don't want. They will tell you how to be their gay best friend. Everything that their gay best friend do for them, that's what they want you to do. We want a man that's emotionally intelligent. What the fuck is that? We want a man that's spiritually inclined. What the fuck is that? Do you want a man that can protect, provide, supply, bring a backbone to the house, give some kind of structure to the children, keep the son out the prison, keep the daughter off of the goddamn stripper pole? Is that what you want? A man that knows his direction in life, is willing to lead a family in that direction, and has no problem doing it, does it with a smile on. Is that the kind of man you want? Or do you want a man that's going to feel some type of way about every move you make because he's in his feelings? Every time you do something, he's going to accuse you of cheating because he's in his feelings. He's thinking with his emotions. I want a man that knows how to handle his emotions and not. If you want a man to learn how to handle his emotion, wait, before we go any further, do you think that men and women share the exact same emotions? Do you think men and women share the exact same emotions? Like, as a woman, do you think that you're going through the same emotional things that a man is going through? No. You're loaded with estrogen. I'm loaded with testosterone. I'm Hawk Smash. You're Pick Flowers. I kill Willie Mammoth. You cook Willie Mammoth. I till dirt. You plant vegetables. This is facts. Like when men, yes, I don't know why you think that a man could be in his feelings. I don't know why you think that a man could be in his feelings and it's going to be something positive that comes out of it. We don't know how to deal with emotions. That's why girls can kind of get cheated on and get over it and kind of stay with the man and work through it. If a dude gets cheated on, it is the end of the fucking world to us, because we don't know how to deal with emotion. That's why we should not deal with emotion, because we don't know how. It boosts estrogen levels to be able to deal with emotion. And a man loaded with estrogen is roid rage. That's steroid rage. A man loaded with so much emotion that he can no longer deal with it. So I advise men, tuck that emotion in Pandora's box. Put that shit away. There's no money in that box for you. Inside of that box of emotions, there is no money for you, because as a leader, you may have to fire a nigga. You got to be outside of your emotions to be able to do this, to be able to be a general contractor and map out how this is going to go and say how you want this property done. You're going to have to be very fucking stern about that. Feelings to the side, man to man. That's why men always say man to man, because y'all not going to understand this. Y'all not going to understand this. We do not know how to deal with our feelings. That is a fact. That's why we shouldn't. That's why we shouldn't. Because we don't know how. He stepped on my sneakers. I feel some kind of way. That nigga's about to die. That nigga spoke to a girl who I like and don't even know, but since I like her and I feel some kind of way, that nigga gotta die. Like, that's how men think. And it's proof that's how men think, because the second that single motherhood spiked and y'all started teaching men to be more in their emotions, look at the murder rate. Look at the cause of the murders. Look at the cause. It's not a negative. I don't know why you think it's such a negative for men not to deal with their emotions. It is such a positive, because when I don't deal with my emotions, I could get on top of that 300-foot skyscraper and make this shit happen with confidence, with my chin up, chest out. I could go and dig the ditches. I could make sure that the plumbing is done correctly without having to think about, is my wife cheating on me, in the back of my mind, because I'm stuck in my emotions. I can build for the future. I can rebuild this community. I can settle the youth. I can mask that masculinity that they're using to the wrong advantages that they have. I can do something about that as long as I'm not in my feelings, because these kids can't see me cry. These kids can't see me break down. These kids have to see me be as strong as humanly possible. That way they can be as strong as humanly possible. If they see me in my feelings, they will now be in their feelings, and it's going to be it's going to be Chirac all over again. It's going to be Chirac all over again. It's going to be the Brooklyn drill scene all over again. That is men in their emotions. We can't deal with them. We don't know how. We don't know how. Because we can't understand them. We can't understand a man and their emotions. That shit don't register to us. It doesn't register to us. We don't know what that means. We don't know what that means. What I'm saying is that you're only speaking on negative energy. It's like men can't be happy. Nothing you said is positive about feelings. I told you, men are happy when we can produce. A man is at his happiness when he can provide for his family. A man is at his happiness when he has earned money. A man is at his happiness when he finished that fence he was building in the backyard. A man experiences his happiness when he gets his car running that he's been working on for the last 3 years. A man experiences his happiness by upgrading in the business that he's in. A man experiences his happiness through all of that. None of it comes from feelings. It comes from accomplishment. Men gain their happiness from accomplishment. And meditation was created for men. Buddha created meditation for men to forget what they were doing today and go into tomorrow with a clear state of mind. Think about this. Every time you argue with a dude, don't he always say, why are you still talking about that? That's mad old. Like, get over that. Like, and you'll be like, nigga, that was last week. No, sex is feeling to a woman. Sex is a feeling to a woman. Sex is taking a piss to a man. It doesn't mean the same thing. It does not mean sex is not that serious to a dude. It's not. You guys are very selective about who you're going to give the box to, because sex means something to you. Y'all call men dogs for a reason. Sex doesn't mean a goddamn thing to us. Is what it is. We don't care. It's pleasure for y'all. It's procreation for us. Okay. But yeah, no, we don't deal with that. So why y'all beasting about having sex? Because men are loaded with testosterone and sometimes you just need to release it. Simple math. But it's not. Women are more in their feelings about sex than men are. You're not going to deny this. That's why you're very selective about who you're going to give the box to. Very selective. Very, very fucking selective. Because you have to care about the nigga who you about to give that box to. And you're not going to give the box to him if you don't care about him in some way, shape, or form. Niggas will supply penis to anything. Like you. And I'm not even saying it's a good thing, but this is just male nature. Like it's the only way niggas really know how to be, unless you can tame it. There's some other niggas out here that no, that is a fact. That is a fact. If a woman cheats on you, nigga, she left you a long time ago. Mentally, she left you a long fucking time ago. That's why men prefer respect over love. Because if you respect me, you'll never do no shit like that. You can fall out of love with me. If you always have respect for me, you're just not going to do certain things. That's why men prefer respect. We don't give a fuck about love. Don't care about none of that shit. That's that soft, sentimental shit. We don't deal with that. We don't live in that realm like that. That's not us. And men who are like that, y'all call them gay, like Kevin Samuels. Yeah. That's men who like to be in touch with themselves. That's men who like to make sure that their nails are manicured. That's men who like to dress nice. That's men who like to look a certain way. You guys call them gay. But now y'all saying that y'all want those kind of men. Y'all call those kind of men gay. Y'all call them weirdos. None of y'all will date them. And then you describe them as the kind of nigga that you want. They will teach you how to be friend zone for life. I'm telling you, they don't do this on purpose. I don't believe that women do this on purpose, but they will teach you how to be friend zone for life. They will teach you how to never make your way out of that friend zone. It's a fact. Because any women that's in here, please tell me, do you want a man who is in his feelings? Do you want a man clocking everything you're doing? Do you want a man that's feel some type of way every single time that you post a picture or every time a guy looks at you? Or do you want that kind of man? Yeah, now it's self-care, but Kevin Samuels was gay for all of that. They do. Let a man get a manicure. He's gay. Let a dude take care of himself. He's gay. Let a man have standards. He's gay. Facts. Who was it? Somebody did a video with a dude in the jacuzzi. All the women in the chat called him gay. All of them. Every single last one of them. But if they had to describe the kind of nigga that they like, they would want a nigga that's in touch with his feelings and was doing the same thing that nigga was doing. They will teach you how to be friend zoned. And men, if you are listening to this, please hear me out. Stay out of your feelings. Ain't no money in there. Ain't no life in there. There is nothing in there but depression, which is a feeling. And if you can stay out of your feelings, you won't have to go through that. Stay the fuck out of your feelings. Ain't nothing in there for you. No matter what nobody tells you. Your body tells you. Your body knows better. As soon as you have a feeling, you get this gut-wrenching feeling of, am I being a bitch-ass nigga right now? Like when you feel some type of way about some shit that you know you shouldn't feel some type of way about as a man, like you think for a second, like, damn, I sound like a bitch right now. Like I got to get it together. Live on that. Stand on that. Chin up, chest out. Ain't nothing in your feelings for you. And you will not get no women. You will not get no women if you are a nigga who is in your feelings. They like stoic niggas. Let them watch a movie and while one nigga's in the corner crying, the other nigga is saving the goddamn world. Ask them who they want at the end of the fucking movie. Ask them who they want. A boxing match is going on. There's a nigga on the ground knocked out, crying. There's a nigga standing up, chin up, chest out. Who you think they want? They don't want the nigga on the bench. They want LeBron. They don't want the nigga who stubbed his toe and he took a game off. They want niggas like Michael Jordan who played with a flu. Women hear shit like that. They like, yeah, I need a strong man like that. I need a man that could take on life like that. I'm going through enough problems and emotions as a woman. Why the fuck do I want a man that's going through his emotion? Why would I want that? I will never teach my daughter to deal with that. I'm gonna tell my daughter immediately, if you are talking to a man and he responds to you with "I feel like," get up and walk away from the table. Get up and walk away from the table, because he will not be accepted into this family. You feel like. Nigga, what's the facts? What's the facts? That's why men, when we having conversation, nigga, Google is on hand. Google is on hand. Because we don't like to go all the way around the world with our feelings. We like to get directly to the point. What is the facts? You will state facts to a woman and she will reply to you what I feel like. Nothing is more attractive than a man that whines, right? Yeah, right? Yeah, no one wants to deal with all of that. No one wants to deal with that. If let my daughter get a crybaby ass nigga, I'm gonna feel like I failed as a father. Like, did I not show you a strong enough image? Did your brother not show you a strong enough image? Your uncles, all the men that were around you, none of them niggas showed you a strong enough image that you come home with a fucking crybaby? This nigga's not gonna be able to work with us. A 12-hour workday might kill this nigga for a year. He gonna need a year off after a 12-hour work break. I can't deal with that. You should not want to deal with that. So wait, why did they go to marriage counseling and listen to another person tell them that's how to have a better way of communicating? The only reason men go to marriage counseling is because divorce is such a negative to a man. So I would do anything if she said we need to go to counseling. Fuck it. Anything that doesn't give you half of my wealth. Anything that doesn't give you half of my wealth. And it's already been proven that marriage counseling is usually against the man. They just keep telling the man everything that he's doing wrong, because it's usually a crazy ass woman that acts like the crazy ass woman that you married. So we go to marriage counseling because you asked us to go to marriage counseling. If you didn't ask us, we would get over the problem and move on with life. We would get over the problem tomorrow. If we argue today, men, we are over it 2 hours later. I don't care what the argument was about. 2 hours later, give me a blunt and an hour to myself to unwind, and we are over it. We don't need counseling. We was over it 2 hours after it happened. You the only one still mad. You the only one still mad. We don't even know what you mad at no more. We just keep walking past you like, you all right? Like, why are you acting funny? That was like 2 hours ago we was arguing. The fuck you still mad at? To you, that was 2 seconds ago. To you, we literally just finished this argument. To us, we been over that shit. But look at the way y'all cope with it. We cope with it just fine. We built the fucking world that you use. We cope with it well enough to have built the air conditioner, to have made planes, to have made fans, to have made plasma TVs, to make them 67 inches big, to build the world you live in, to make the cars, to build the roads, to make your life super fucking comfortable. That's how we've coped with it. We've built the world that you fucking love to live in right now. I say we dealt with it pretty well. With anger, no. Anger is a feeling. Anger is a feeling. We don't have to feel that. We just have to work. Like, you keep naming off different kinds of feelings, but we don't care about anger. The only time we angry is 30 seconds before we got to fucking nigga up. And we're over that 30 seconds later if we're not about to fuck him up right now. We got a short window of time for these kind of feelings. We are angry for 30 seconds before we got to fuck a nigga up. Besides that, we could fucking get over it. Unless I'm in my feelings and I'm going to drag that shit out for a year. It's still fuck that nigga a year later because I feel like. We don't live like that. We don't live like that. And we didn't do it with anger. We did it with love. We did it with care. Made you tinted windows so you don't have to have the sun beaming in your face. Created inventions that made childbearing easier. Created a place where you could go and have healthy children and not have to deal with the death rates that we were dealing with in the past. Created medicines that made it so your children are able to make it through almost anything at this point. Men did such a good job that you could have a baby half the term now. You could be fucking 5-6 months pregnant. We're making sure that your children live. That don't sound like we did that with anger. That don't sound like we did that with anger. That sounds like we did that with love, care, and attention. That sounds like we did that with love, care, and attention. Grandma got dialysis now because of the way men think. And all of this happened when men were stoic. All of this happened when men were not in their feelings. All of this happened when men were the lumberjacks, when they were the strong, tough men that weren't scared to get a cut on their finger, that weren't scared to dirty up their jeans. This happened when men were men. Now they telling us to think with our feelings and we ain't inventing shit. We ain't coming up with nothing. We're not benefiting our family none. You women don't even want us at this point because we became so weak that you're tougher of a man than we are. Think about that. You guys are mad at us because at this point you've become tougher than we are. Why have you become tougher than we are? Because y'all told us to dull the toughness down. Dull it back. Be in your feelings. It's okay to let us know what you're thinking. And now that men have fell into that fucking trap, we can't even find a wife. We can't even create a family. We can't do shit now because we listen to that nonsense. But when men were stoic, look what we created. Look what we created. Arabic men are stoic. They made Dubai. Stoic. That's the way that men need to be. That's when we are happy, when we know we did something chin up, chest out. When we know that we cut and bled while we was making that fence, but we finished that shit. When we know that we sweated 30 gallons of water today trying to get that grass cut, but we did that shit. When we said we was going to go to this job and we was going to finish this drywalling and we did that shit. That's where our happiness comes from. Producing for people. Being a firefighter, running in a burning building for a cat. That's when men feel good. When we ran in that burning building for a cat, that's when we felt good. That's the shit to us. And all we need you to do is nurture that. When we come back and tell you, listen, baby, I'm getting ready to have this raise. I'm hyped. I know I'm getting ready to do this. I'm about to move us. I'm about to get us a bigger house. I'm going to make sure that your mama don't got to go into no nursing home. I'm going to make sure that my mama don't got to go into no nursing home. That's when a man is at his pure happiness. If we can't do any of those things, depression. If we can't do none of that, we're depressed. Because we're not providing anything for anyone. That's where we derive our happiness, from providing. We love that shit. We're built for it. It's what we're designed for. I kill Willie Mammoth, you cook Willie Mammoth. Design. I don't know what type of women y'all be talking to. Just answer this. Do you want a man that has a problem with everything you do? Because he is in his feelings. Because you can't just take the positive that comes with men being in their feelings. Because it's very few of them. The negatives outweigh the positives by far. So if he's going to be in his feelings, he's also going to be emotional every time you post a picture. He's also going to have a type of way every time a guy looks at you and every time you look back. He's also going to have a problem if you're texting for too long and he doesn't know who you're talking to. He's also going to want your location everywhere that you go. These are the things that come with men and their emotions. You're not just going to get the happy-go-lucky guy and not have all the negatives that come with it. Just like you can't have a masculine woman that's feminine sometimes and think that it's going to outweigh the negatives of her being masculine most times. You will clash heads over the fact that she's masculine most times, not the fact that she's feminine sometimes. So you are going to clash over the fact that he's emotional most of the time and not emotional enough some of the times. That's going to become an issue. Like, damn, I like the fact that he's happy when he does certain things, but the nigga be tripping about everything that I do because he's in his feelings and men don't know how to deal with him. Again, as a woman, you could get cheated on. If you respect the nigga enough, you could work through it. Men, if we get cheated on, we are a nuclear meltdown. And men know it. I'd have a meltdown. I would go through depression. Nigga, my territory got conquered. Nigga, it's over. Like, we don't know how to deal with feelings. That's why we should not. Look, if you're a doctor and you go to a construction site, I don't think you should pick the welding gun up and start trying to weld this metal. You're a fucking doctor. You don't know what the fuck you're doing over here. You don't know what you're doing over here. You don't know how to use that tool. You were not made to use that tool. You were made to be a fucking doctor. Men were made to not deal with these kind of emotions. So when they do deal with them, we don't know what the fuck we doing. We don't know what's too far. Emotions made men downsize their clothing. But they didn't know what was too far. So you got Young Thug in dresses, and you got Will Smith's son in dresses. You just got the Future up there with the crazy shit. That we don't know when's too far. You guys know when's too far because you live in your emotions. We don't know how to deal with that. We don't know how to deal with that. And I just wish that y'all knew us a little bit better, because it would make so much sense if y'all just accept the fact that, you know what? Men can't deal with emotion well. So it might be best that I try to get a man that doesn't really deal with emotion well. Where you be getting your information from? Can we just have an answer? Would you like to date a man that is emotional? You're going to have to take the good with the bad too. So he's also going to be emotional about your pictures. Everything is going to have to be neck up, no full body shots. He's going to need your location everywhere that you go. You can't take the good without the bad. Do you want a man that's in his emotions? Oh, you did answer it? What'd you say? You said yes? I can't see it. You answered it. What was it? Is it a yes? That's the kind of man that you want? Yeah, ask all of them. It's plenty of men in the chat. Ask them. But matter of fact, all the women that are in here, do you want a man that... No, that's men. Women, please, all the women that I have in here, please explain the dangers of a man being in his feelings and being overly emotional. Please tell me if I'm telling the truth that men cannot deal with their emotions. They don't know how. A man starts off crying, the next thing he's fucking the house up. He's punching through walls, kicking through doors, and the only thing that can stop him is a taser from a police officer. Men don't know when is the threshold of I'm going too far with my emotions. I started off crying. That crying turned into me punching a wall. That spiked my testosterone to make me want to kick the door. That spiked my testosterone to make me want to kick through the car. That made me want to fuck a nigga up that's up the street. That is on average how a man is going to deal with his feelings. We don't know another way. We don't. That's why men argue to a point, and then after a while, we just like, yo, my nigga, what is you saying? Because we can step into the street right now and get this done and over with. I'm not with all this talking, all this. I'm not with all that. You know why? Because there's feelings involved in all this talking. And I know that I can't deal with all this. So what are you saying? Either we about to release this testosterone or not. But I'm not going to stand here going back and forth with you. My grandfather went through 2 wars and took care of 7 kids. 6 weren't his. Whole time, if you saw him cry, you were lucky as fuck. These men aren't men anymore, unfortunately. And when you're the right woman, they don't know how to handle it or communicate. Communicating is not us. It's crazy if he's in his feelings, they pop off or run away. That men are not communicators. Women say on average about 20,000 more words a day than we do. We are not the communicators. That is just what it is. We are not communicators. That is not our strong point. That's why all you women are complaining that men can't communicate, because we are not communicators. You didn't just hear the goddamn thing I said. You didn't just hear me. We can only talk for so long before we want to fight. We can only talk so long before we want to fight. We ain't with all that talking, communicating, and we ain't with all that. Who fuck got time for all that? They should just take men away. For what? For what? Again, you say it like it's a bad thing that men are like this. It is a great thing that men are like this. Look what we produced. Look at the world we gave you. When it's cold, you could just turn a knob and your heat kicks on. Your house is nice and toasty. You want some coffee, you could just push a button. Or you can drive there in a car that we built to a Dunkin' Donuts that we built, or wherever the hell coffee come from. You guys could drive right there and get it instantly. That's what we was able to do. That's some gangster shit right there. I don't think it's a problem with the way that men have been. When we was stoic and wasn't in our feelings and crying shit. Oh shit, the gang done pulled up. Hey. But yeah, I'll tap back in later. About to go with the gang.
It's nice out. Y'all go enjoy some stuff. Goal of the channel, get people back together, start raising these children again, get them in some conducive environments. I think that we need to go by the same laws that all the other people go with. Your son needs to learn to trade by the age of 13. You need to get him the alphabet by the... There's some other things we're going to get into. We'll go live on that tonight. Thank you, everybody. And the only way the world became what it is because a man was mad. Fuck it. I'll take it. I guess men were mad when we invented all of this stuff that made your life easier. Fuck it. Then angry men produce a great world where women can vote and got rights and can become boss babes and show feet pictures and make millions of dollars. Like that's the world that we invented, being angry. So you guys benefit from this angry ass world that we built, and you benefit greatly from this angry ass world that we built. So I don't know why you complaining about it. You fucking love it. Like you could post a picture of your forehead tomorrow, a nigga will pay you $500 for it. Like I think that's an amazing world that we built. You guys are benefiting very lovely. The Catch Me Outside bitch made $52 million last year because of the angry world that men built. So I don't think it's exactly a bad thing. Enjoy it. Peace, everybody.